Welcome back to BERLINF.U.N, but it doesn't really matter what this show is called. I am just so lucky to have met you. What's your name again?
My name is Ksenia.
Ksenia.
Hi.
And where are you from, Ksenia?
I'm from Ukraine, from Kiev.
Fantastic already. Thank you so much. So I have heard, thank you so much for your volunteeringness of like lending your voice and your face. And you are like, you can like delete this as you're wishing, you know, I'm going to show it to you before it's published or anything. Because I know how hard it is to speak openly and truly, and many people like can't handle the pain or the trauma of war.
Yeah.
And it don't want to be confronted with it every single second.
True.
So thank you so much for doing this tiny service. So I heard today that like some EU commissioner is thinking about eventually not letting Russian people who want to flee the forceful war they might have to fight in to the EU. They're thinking maybe they're not going to let them in. How horrible, like how dare you EU, like even think about that question, people not wanting to fight war, deny visas.
Well, obviously it depends.
Okay.
Because I have friends in Russia as well. And some of them are really helped me to escape from Ukraine when war started. I really want these people to be safe and their family as well. Now it's really hard to everyone. I cannot say that I hate all of the Russians. Not all of them. But most of them, because they like keep quiet, they support this, and somehow they let this shit happen. Because, you know, if you're not interested with politics, politics will interested you.
I emphasize with you to a certain point for sure, like how dare all of us let this happen, you know, we're all so quiet and we all come from such privileged positions. But right now in Russia, people are put in prison for protesting the war. Like, you know, there's no real solution of kicking out a dictator.
It's always a solution to kicking a dictator. They're just afraid to be beating, to be shooting, to be killing. We did it twice, actually.
Ukrainians?
Yes, Ukrainians. We did it actually twice. We just fight for our freedom. Freedom never be like, it's never free for anyone. Every single country in Europe, all over the world, they paying by blood for their freedom. Just look at the history. And since like Russians decided to keep quiet, to keep their fear, to not to go on the protest against dictator and everything else, it will be like that. They said like, okay, you should be mobilized, you should go kill Ukrainians. Okay. See the news, like what? For example, okay, if you're refusing to go to the military, to the army, you go into prison. From you sitting for 3, maybe 10 years, it depends. And if you kill somebody there, it's maybe like 10 years as well. Maybe I'm not telling that they should kill their like military bosses or something, but at least they can try to fight for their freedom. And some people, it's not about borders. Everyone in 21st century should live in like normal conditions, in safe conditions. They need to think that they can build their own future for their own kids. This is what exactly happening right now. It's like, I don't know, middle years or something. It's like craziness.
So you're definitely putting the responsibility on the individual rather than the governments. And
it's always like that.
Exactly. And
for example, like one American,
always true to some point.
Yeah. He's actually some scientist, some historical scientist. I don't remember his name. I'm sorry about that, but he said like really, really true story about guilt and responsibility. For example, you just open your door and a newborn just on your floor. It's not your fault that he's there, but this is your responsibility. What exactly happened next? Are you just holding them on your hands, or you just like stepping around him, or you just feeding your dog with this newborn? It depends. It's your exactly.
So the war already started, obviously, so we can't change. It
started in 2014.
Exactly. So we can't change that right now in this moment.
We can.
So what do we do? Exactly. So what do we do for peace right now?
What exactly we do for peace? We're fighting.
Yeah. But also, like, I don't know, like, offer Putin a way out? Like, is there any way?
It's collective Putin. You cannot say it's one person.
Exactly.
It doesn't work like this. Like, never.
But also, like, isn't the short thought like recommending Ukraine just give up? Like just stop it right now?
Sweetie, what do you mean just stop it? It means like just imagine that you live in your house and your neighbor just coming into your home and he's raping your wife or husband or wherever, or your kids, and telling like, okay, your kitchen and your living room will be mine right now. Do you have a problem with that?
But it's better than to die.
You think so? Obviously not, because if you need to think with it, you need to live with him, you need to try to fight. It's not about Stockholm syndrome, because Ukrainians are really free nation. They always fight for their freedom for 300 years at least, 400 years at least, against Russia. For a whole world, it started just right now, but it's not. It started more like centuries ago. And we're always fighting for our freedom.
Perfect. But what's the way to stop fighting now? And I'm not like whatever, like, you know, there's no perfect answer to this question.
There's no perfect answer. There's no perfect decision. There's no perfect deal for this. It's because nothing.
But what would your recommendation be? What should be, like, let's say you, Zelensky, what do you do?
We have to fight. We have to fight for our freedom.
Okay.
For sure.
This is what, yeah, sure, this is common opinion. This is public opinion. This is what Zelensky is exactly saying.
Not just Zelensky, that like 90% of Ukrainians think.
Okay, sure. Personally, you know, from a detached point of view, I disagree with that. I think you should give up, like, whatever peace takes.
No, because you don't know how to live with them. You don't know how to live in this country, because I was born in Soviet Union. I know exactly how it should be, how it will be if we give up. We already been there like 30 years ago. I remember it pretty well. And I remember how we're starving. I remember these lines for the bread. I remember this horrible stuff and things. It's like Northern Korea. Everybody just thinks that their, I don't know, the Putin or whatever who will be in charge, they are kind of a gods. They are not the servants of people. It's not democracy. It's something different. It's totalitarianism. It's huge mistake. I mean, people shouldn't live like that in Northern Korea, anywhere else.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we can agree on that, and also ask everyone else to agree on that. It's a mistake. Thank you so much. Obviously, I disagree here and there, and then sometimes I think I don't have the right to disagree, but who even cares?
You see, you have your opinion.
Exactly.
But you don't have my experience. So maybe if you did, you will talk like, maybe you will be opposite from your opinion right now. It depends of conditions.
These my sisters. I can see you. I see you all. You with my human eyes. I can see you. You jump on the mic.